Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Chris. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here, thank you for being here. Today, we're going to talk about how to select a mentor, which, if you've never had one, can change your life 100%. There's a few things to really be aware of, and there's a few things to really understand to what will best help you. Before we get into it though, I ask everybody for just a small favor, just a little tiny favor. I'm going to give you this information because I want you to succeed. All I ask in return is hit subscribe, hit that like button. That's it. Just subscribe and hit the like button, especially if you like the content. It helps get the content out to everybody else on YouTube. In turn, this channel grows and we all win together, creating a community. So let's talk about being a mentor. Hit that like button and subscribe. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to select a mentor. That said, I want to preference with selecting a mentor could be very, very simple or could be very complex, okay? I have worked with many mentors, several of them great, one of them not so much, which has not only developed me in the right direction, but has also given me a lot of insight into what never to do as a mentor and a coach. And I think the contrasting sides are important to understand. So, if you've ever thought about getting a mentor or working with a mentor, there's several things that I want you to analyze, all right? And the first thing is, if you want more out of life, if you want answers to questions, if you want a teacher to teach you those answers, if you want to grow your business, okay, selecting the proper coach and mentor is imperative. It could be as simple as following that person's content, reading their books, listening to their books, which is very low investment and or free if it's their content. It could be a little bit more complex, however, extraordinarily rewarding if you decide to hire them in a group setting or a one-on-one setting, depending on your needs. If you decide that you're going to hire a mentor, okay, there's a couple of key things that I would highly recommend. Actually, let me re-say that. If you decide you want a mentor, you don't necessarily have to hire them. Read their book and their content is applicable here. There's a few things I want you to analyze prior to doing so. This is the advice that I give you from all of the mistakes that I've made by watching content that not necessarily is ideal for developing myself or yourself, for reading books that were a waste of time, and working with mentors, I should say a mentor, that wasn't ideal. Now, on the other hand, I've read a shitload of books, consumed a crap load of content, and worked with some excellent mentors. And that is why I'm going to share these top 3 pieces to look for before you start working with or consuming a mentor's content. The first question, the first piece, the first question, the most important thing, this is the most important piece to the pie. Would you change places with them in life? Okay? Here's your example. Say your aunt likes to give you advice. Okay? Your aunt's a good person. However, maybe your aunt doesn't live in the house that you want to live in or have the relationship that you desire or make the income that you think you want. You're not going to want to take advice from that person. Okay? Plain and simple. Let's say your aunt is successful, has a successful relationship, has a successful career, or has a successful business, has a lot of friends, has a beautiful home, does well financially. And these are things that you're drawn to, and you would trade your life with that person. That is the first thing you need to analyze. Would you trade places in life with that mentor? Would you? If the answer is yes, then that is a good sign you should work with them. Read their book, consume their content. Number two, the second thing that is most important when it comes to selecting a mentor. Do you vibe with them? The content that you read that they produce, does it resonate with you? Do you read it and you're like, you know what? I fucking like that. That really just does well with me. If the answer is yes, when you're reading their content, or maybe you looked on their website or you've read their book and you're looking to make the next step, maybe working with them in person, you should vibe with their personality. Their message should land with you. Maybe not 100%, but mostly. If that person stands for things fundamentally that you don't agree with, that are very important to you, the working relationship will not be ideal. Because remember, this is a relationship. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person if they have different views than you. Here's an important one, especially these days, okay? Say I'm a liberal. Say I'm a very liberal mentor, and you're a very conservative individual. The thought processes are going to be very different when it comes to a lot of important topics. And when it comes to the aspect of mentoring someone and taking that knowledge in, it might not land well. Doesn't necessarily mean yes or no. I'm just talking in generalities and layman's terms, okay? Or I don't think politics have to be the example. However, it's very pertinent, especially in 2021. But you really want to understand that person, what they stand for, if their message lands with you. If their message lands with you and what they stand for lands with you, that is a very, very good sign that that is a good mentor for you. Sub-paragraph here is, do they vibe with you? Are they an expert in their field? If the individual is an expert, they have a lot of content, they speak on a circuit, they have books, they have a podcast, they have a YouTube channel, they have a team, they have a community, they have a following, that's a good sign. Let's just revert back to the aunt that might not be in a very good place in life. They're none of the above. Therefore, you're not going to vibe with them and they're probably not an expert. Layman's terms, guys. 99-1 rule. Lastly, number 3. And this, in my opinion, is the most important. Will that mentor be willing to help you? Okay? Let's think about this at surface level for a moment. Relationships are a two-way street, 100-100. Something I want you to be very careful of when it comes to selecting a mentor is if they will help you. Of course, you have to pay for their services. Some mentors will provide an immense amount of value for what you pay for. Some absolutely will, and some will not. Doesn't mean one is better than the other. However, growing a business is cut and clear on how to do that. What I want you to be careful of, many mentors, or some, let's say some, are very good at going into your pocket, pulling the money out. Now, what you got to be careful of is not that. Do they have your best interest in mind? Do they? Will they help you? Or will they only help you when it's convenient for them to grab that money and put it in your pocket? I say this because I've been through that exact experience. I say this not to upset you. I say this to be careful because people with power and influence know how to manipulate, whether it's for the good or for the negative. Okay? Just be careful. Interview them. Look through their content. Read their books. Talk to them. Ask their clients, will they help you or will they only help themselves? That is the most important. Some mentors, some of us, we just love to see our students and clients succeed. And that is ultimately what is most important. Other mentors, ultimately what is most important is just stacking up those zeros in their bank account. And I think there's a blend of both, especially for mentors, right? Because you got to pay the bills, you got to pay your staff, right? I'm just speaking on experience here. You guys see me or hear me. However, I have a team behind me that produces this. We have to make money so we can all live. But what is most important is that you're successful and you succeed. And it's not because of the mentor, it's because you decided to hire someone to open the door for you to walk through. And then once you've walked through it, it's your victory. That's what a good mentor does for you. We hold the door open and then don't want the credit. We just want you to be happy. So, be careful. Let's recap. Number 1, would you trade places with them in life? Number 2, are they willing? Number 2, do you vibe with them? Does their message resonate with you? Are they an expert in their field? And number 3, and most importantly, will they help you? Will they selflessly help you? Speaking of mentorship, if you want the chance to work with me, to work with us in a group setting, we are running the Enlightened Entrepreneur 10-week system, focused on who you are, why you're here, self-awareness, and your purpose in business. Topics that we're going to cover are finance, customer service, leadership, and team building, along with the golden rule of business. If you are building a side hustle, thought about building a side hustle, have a side hustle, have a business, call yourself an entrepreneur, put down 5, 6, or 7 figures of income or revenue, or want to know how to get to that next level of 5, 6, or 7, this system is designed for you specifically. If you are ready, if you want to be a part of this community, if you want to be with other entrepreneurs and build a mastermind, the link is in the show notes. All right, guys. That's the show for today, how to select a mentor. You know I appreciate you. You know I appreciate you being here. If you got anything out of this show, hit the like button, subscribe, comment even if you disagree with what I say. Let's talk about it. Hit the like button, subscribe, and let's talk about everything and get this message out to everybody else by liking and subscribing. Help me, I help you, we help each other. That's a community. Let's grow together, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.